Alright guys, we're going to get started in about a minute here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Wednesday morning. What's up, Ahmad? Let's see here. Yeah, so kind of a sideways, market. We just trend sideways for a while in these instances. There's a lot of good points to look at. I got some starter trades in. Nothing big, nothing crazy yet, but there's a lot of places to look at to potentially put in some swing trades, things of that nature. So yeah. Good news is real estate seems like it's finally starting to come down. Mortgage rates, demand at all-time lows. Hold on, let's. It was the front page article on CNBC. So yeah. What's up, Cool? Alrighty, guys. What is up? Thank you so much for joining me today. Evan Aldo here. Swing longs, we'll see. Maybe. Most likely shorts, honestly, but yeah. All right, guys. Let's look at the market. So, start with Bitcoin here. The weekly. We've talked about the weekly. We've talked about why I think it's going to be more like a situation like here for the next few months before, breaking one way and going the other way. So, yeah. Not enough evidence to really support a bottom yet. I feel like money flow just has to be a little bit deeper. What's interesting if we look on the 10-day here, you're coming up, but it looks like you gotta, those money flow crossovers. You may need a few more months to really bottom out here. Now that would be low. If it's a percentage like this, 55 down. I think it's going to be less than that, but it would be kind of low. 55% down would be 13K. I don't think we're going to go that low. But there is that worst case scenario, very not too likely possibility, but 300 weekly moving average, 16 to 17K, somewhere around there. That's probably my worst case scenario I could see happening. And when would that happen? September, August, something like that. Daily VWAP, curving down. Looks like, very deep with the money flow, but now the money flow just came up so quickly. It looks like you gotta, the pattern would make sense that you'd come down a bit. You'd come down at least a little bit. And your 12-hour, about to print another red dot coming on and off, confirms in 8 hours. Look, the money flow curvature is great here, but in the bear markets, we have been robbed with those quite a few times. 8-hour red dot. Usually, any red dot on a time frame this big is usually a bit more bearish. This could easily bring us right down to 29K. Your 5-hour, kind of in between. You're getting high with the money flow. Last time money flow was this high, what happened? He came down. So, yeah. 3-hour, you're about to get a crossover into the red. Last time we got a crossover into the red, didn't really play out. It came back up. This one's where we could finally, break down and test these areas more. 24, 25K. And your hourly. VWAP coming down while you're having a money flow crossover to the red. This one didn't work out too well. This one didn't work out. Well, it worked out a little bit. This one also didn't work out too well. We're due for something to bring us down here. I could see, I could definitely see 29K. That's Bitcoin. Ethereum. We got to keep in mind, Ethereum has been just bleeding against Bitcoin. It looks like it will continue to bleed against Bitcoin. So the shorts on this are big things to look at. Weekly. Money flow crossover into the red. Last time this happened, it's probably not going to be this type of percentage downward, but you could kind of map out when we would likely. So August to December, about 3-4 months to a bottom. And, the percentage would probably be half of, you could come down probably another 40%. If a lot of altcoins come down, another, 50%, this would probably come down 40% or something. 1,100, 1,200. Big places to look for a bottom. Does not seem like we're at the bottom just yet. VWAP in 3-day, curving down more. RSI is coming down. Looks like we have a little bit more carnage ahead of us. Also, you know, we could be sideways in this channel for quite some time before we finally break down, similar to what happened in 2018. Daily's printing a red dot, bearish. 16-hour confirmed blood diamond, bearish. 10-hour, I'll give you that. I mean, 10-hour, 12-hour, that curvature. You know, you're about to get a trigger wave there, but in these bear markets, you even got a trigger wave on your 6-hour right now, but in these bear markets, it doesn't always play out the way you want it to. Keep in mind, we don't have, I mean, we don't have a weekly green dot. I know that. How about on the 5-day? You got a 5-day green dot, but no bullish divergence. No bullish divergence just yet. Hourly, kind of same deal as Bitcoin coming down. 30-minute, neutral, I guess. Money flow generally coming down all the way from back here on your 15-minute. So yeah, I would still be leaning a bit more bearish. I think it's a matter of time. Yeah, we range sideways, then we break up, we break down. I think it's likely you break down to here. Funding fees generally positive. 16-hour money flow crossover. It is a really good sign, but in these deep bear markets where you get the Fed doing a lot of stuff, doesn't always play out. Oil, looks like you continue to break upward. Kind of, you know, my main focus on oil. Probably top out when Bitcoin bottoms out in a few months. August, September, something like that. Next big place for oil, 128. That would be, you know, in terms of probably where gas prices would go. Would that be 5 something a gallon at that point? Probably. That's where it could top out at, between $5 to $7 a gallon, probably. Maybe $10 in some places, like LA or whatever, but anything above that, wow, that'd be good crazy. S&P 500. Kind of a nice clean rejection off of this line right here. You know, trending sideways, a lot of other things. You know, you might as well, you know, this weekly, coming down pretty low here. It looks like we could finally get into the red here and finally go into a recession if we're not able to just keep going up, making all-time highs or whatever. I do think, I mean, you're so overdue to come down to the red. Pretty much every recession, that's what happens. Could happen. I mean, we're getting to the point where there's a lot of the, people are used to those big returns, and it gets greedy. It gets greedy when people are used to those big returns in the S&P 500 in the stock market, and they're just hoping that it comes back, and then finally it just doesn't. So it could be more of an exaggerated type thing too. Is there a bullish version of the blood diamond? Not really. Green dots, it would probably be, it would be something like, right, I'll show you an example, like something like this. Like a green dot with the dot below on a high time frame. That'd be probably the bullish version. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Got people trolling today. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, smash the like button, guys. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. That's so cool. Let's see. Doing the poll right now. And you know, it's boring right now. I don't know if we'll see, you know, much happen during the stream, but I want to look at the real estate article. So mortgage demand falls to the lowest level in 22 years, which is kind of crazy. I mean, that's 22 years. Like, unless this is, I know journalists like to use clickbaity stuff. They, you know, exaggerate the truth. They make things deceiving, but you know, you would think it would be 2008 would have been the lowest because that's when it all crashed. Like, how could, you know, that doesn't really make sense here. This is like, you know, if this article, if they're not really, you know, misconstruing any information here, this is like indicative of the next Great Depression. This is indicative of the end of an empire. This is indicative of, you know, all the things Ray Dalio has been saying. But yeah, no, I'm not that pessimistic. But you know, this is going to make real estate really crash if that's true. It's really going to up on the upswing. You know, housing market's still suffering a lack of listings. Mortgage demand continues to drop. Okay, so there's kind of a shortage. It's interesting because we're always talking about, you know, the rich are buying a lot of the real estate up, so no one could really own anything. That's one fear. Okay, persistently low housing inventory and jump in mortgage rates. So, you know, it's a mixture between people, you know, not being able to find places that they want to buy, and not being able to afford the new rates, which is interesting. Very interesting here. Yeah, high volatility, there always is. Message retracted. Don't buy a house just yet. Yeah. Let's look at what's happening on the low. It's just choppy. You know, you want something to happen. There's these choppy little times, and you got to look for scalps. You know, you got to look for other things in these instances. Let's just take off our spider lines and try to look at, you know, let's look at potential places we could try to scalps. So, you know, right here, as, yeah, let me flip coming out. That could have been decent scalp right there. If you go on like some of your low time frames, I mean, I don't really trade based on these, but yeah, that one would have been, there you go. That's a nice bearish div on your 5. Maybe it was on, yeah, no, because that one, okay, 5 minute there. Not the strongest thing, but yeah, just a rejection off of that area. Yeah. Could go either way here. I mean, this isn't the easiest market to see right now because we have conflicting info. We, you know, we got the weekly green dot. We got money flow crossovers coming up. So higher time frames definitely look better than lower time frames at the moment. Lower time frames, a bit more bearish. Monthly, you know, indicative that will go lower, you know, in terms of cycle bottom. Look from the red axes. Yeah, this was Black Swan. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this would be indicative of a bottom by August, September. That's what I think is going to happen. It's looking a lot more like 2013. You know, it's looking a lot more like 2013, the time where you get the red X right there. Could we have a record for, you know, red candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Most it's ever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if you get something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, bottom in November, be interesting. Seems like we'll get deeper in the 15 here. Let's try that little fib level again. Just a nice clean rejection off of right there. And we got our, I believe it's at the golden pocket. No, well, it's the other golden pocket, but big golden pocket around 28. Sure, it coincides. You know, these all kind of, look, these all pretty much coincide with spiral lines. Yeah, that one does. That one does. Over here, this one does. Maybe end up by the end of the month at 26. One possibility. Some people are bullish for June rally. It could happen. You know, I mean, even in these type of situations, look, I mean, you could go like that, then you get your rally. After that, you know, things happen quickly. It's 36 by July 1st or something, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. Long term, you know, obviously, Bitcoin at these prices, pretty good. I'd say anything under 30K is a pretty good buy, even at this level, 30K. Pretty good buy. I mean, we're down, what are we currently down from our all-time high? 55%. We came down 63% so far. A 75% would bring us to 17K. A 22K would bring us down 67%. So, you know, if you look at total, like, corrections, if it's, you know, there's a higher market cap now. That's an 85% correction. If you come down 10% less, 75. 20% less, 65. I think 65 is probably the most likely from your all-time high there. So that's what I'm looking at. In terms of money flow, this is indicative of getting close, very close to a bottom. So yeah. I get you. Let's see. There's a lot of trolls today. Also be privacy. The 30-minute over the last 2 weeks, large moves up and down, long periods of causation. Yeah, we can take a look at the 30-minute, definitely. Just hit the like button. ADA, yeah, that's probably going to go down farther. Let's see. I think altcoins are still going to bleed for the next 2 months, at least 2-3 months for a bottom. I think they're going to bleed pretty hard against Bitcoin as Bitcoin dominance continues to rise. But yeah, let's see here. CBK, I don't know nothing about this. I could look at it quickly. We'll look at that, and then we'll look at yeah, I mean, in a bear market, do you really want to be, you know, messing around with, you know, low cap altcoins? Not saying it can't pump, but it looks like everything else here. ADA, bearish divs all over. Let's take a look. You know, I mean, a lot of these, let's look at the Kraken chart. A lot of these look very similar. Yeah, it looks like everything else. Seems like a nice clean rejection off of this area. Maybe just a little last leg, but no, I don't think, I mean, people have been talking about it, but I don't think it's too likely. I think you'll just kind of roll over. Maybe reject off of this one last time, 68 cents. And, you know, your eventual bottom for this, probably one last leg down to like 30 cents. And you got to 37 here. Would even make sense to come to 15. Definitely would make sense here. It's a bear market, guys. It's a bear market. We can look at the 10-day. Yeah, you're not in, you know, when that gets in the red, that'd probably be, or when you get, yeah. Probably won't get in the red till August, so we got some time. We got some time here. Nervos. All trades, yeah, it's tough because like just with how it is, you got to use such a low leverage for those. But maybe I will. I mean, I don't know. I would be looking more to short it. I mean, I don't know what the I would probably be looking to do something like this with it. Something like that, maybe. Bet that we haven't hit the low yet. And you got your I mean, these do typically kind of play out. I believe this is, yeah, it's confirmed. Your blue triangle. Just reject off of that point on the daily there. Oh, okay, there's a little bit more data on this. This essentially already at zero. I mean, what is it down? 89%. Some of these do, yeah, they go down a little bit farther. I mean, I think you got one last leg down, like everything else in the next couple months. Maybe it would probably be down another 40, 50%. Yeah, right around, well, maybe 30. I don't know anything about this, but it looks like everything else. I would hold off a little bit, wait a few months, see what happens August, September. So, yeah. 61% say down. June Fed meeting. They seem like they're just going to keep, they don't really care. They're just going to keep raising rates. They're kind of panicking about inflation. They don't know what to do. I hate to sound kind of pessimistic, but it is giving you vibes of like Ray Dalio's kind of end of New World Order type thing, end of the American Empire, switching powers. Because it is just clown city pretty much. It's extreme incompetence of leadership, more populist candidates, more shock value, more entertainment value, nothing serious really being done, no one who really has a head above their shoulders. It's just when you're just the overall structure of the country too. I mean, the overall structure of America right now, just the culture, the vibes, there are a lot of indications that we're kind of entering that end of empire type thing now. How does that go with Bitcoin? I think you may see the first time where Bitcoin starts to, act more like gold and starts to come up, when the S&P is down, when all those things are down. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at. You got Ray Dalio said commodities. That's big. I think we got at least a few more months for those. Cash is still trash, obviously. They printed so much of it. I mean, you could manipulate. You could put the Band-Aid over the bullet wound for only so long. There, you can manipulate it with interest rates for a little bit, but it's kind of wreaking havoc. So yeah, I don't think ADA will go to 10 cents. I think 15 cents worst case scenario. So I'm already, going back into the market, or descending in the market, based on kind of a lot based on, Bitcoin being in the red in the weekly. Right now, I'm kind of holding off a little bit. So I got a lot of stuff, the fact is like, the price is at 30K. So I got on a lot around, 30K, high 20s, and Bitcoin dominance keeps going up. So focus on Bitcoin right now to DCA in. Then in a few months, once it looks like altcoins could start to outperform, and it could be a while since altcoins really start to outperform Bitcoin, a year or two really, because like back in 2018 they bottomed out with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin still outperformed them as they came up. So that's what we got to look at. It's definitely not the time to be going really heavy alts. They just keep bleeding and bleeding, and we could look at our total crypto market cap. And this is just more indicative of, it seems like you're going to come down a bit more, especially with this money flow on the weekly before a bottom. And you could definitely, this is probably indicative of how much more alts would go down, at least another 40% or more, some of them even more. So Bitcoin probably will go down a bit more too. But yeah, the big opportunity would be, if you got in a lot, sub 30K, sub 25K would be the next big place. And, in the rare circumstance that we go below 20K, that's when you really want to go in heavy because that's, on all likelihood you're near the bottom there, and that's when just no one wants it. And that's when you're really, at that point, everything's going to be really crashing. So yeah. And then Bitcoin dominance, it's, you don't have to be a genius to realize, it's likely, there's a lot of signs here that we're going to continue forward with this, probably at least to 60% in the next few months. Let's just look in the weekly and what happened when we bottomed out in December of 2018. 57% right there. So I think you're at least going to get up to like 54% in the next few months. That's where you want to look to maybe start getting into altcoins, because it did go, see how the Bitcoin dominance went higher once you bottomed out in 2019. So you might want to even wait till it gets up to, we got to factor in stable coins that were not around here. So maybe even wait till 60%. In all likelihood, this is going to be a season where a lot of Bitcoin maximalists are made, because so many people who are holding altcoins that will go to zero are going to lose everything or sell when we're bottoming out in the summer, and just get annoyed. Here's the one, obviously still has a pretty high market cap that everybody's still holding. I think you could bottom out at 5 cents. After that, it's zero, essentially, 1 cent. This would be another 30% down. If you follow a lot of other altcoins, you'd come down more, 50%, even more. That line right there, I guess, 50% down, 4 cents. So yeah. Let's see. What's up, John? So the 32K pump is the 32K pump right now. That argument would be primarily made by the 12-hour, or actually the 16-hour. And obviously, it seems like we're just going to roll over and go back into the red, kind of like we see in bear markets a lot. But obviously, look, it's a 27%. I'm being conservative, 27%. You could pump up a lot from this. This is what BitBoy thinks is going to happen. 38K by the end of the month, and I want it to go up. I own Bitcoin, yeah, but I'm not seeing enough evidence to really support that just yet. And what's interesting that could happen is, it's a volatile game. You come down, and then in maybe towards the end of the month, then you get there in July or something where you get to 35. It's a lot of different things could happen. That's why it's, that's why it changes. And, during the stream, we haven't really seen anything happen. We're just at the same price we were. Take off that. It's not just a look at, I don't know, even 1 minute, just sideways, very sideways day. We were, an hour or two ago, had a little pump all the way back down. 2 hour red dot. Now we're kind of playing red dot, green dot. We're not really doing anything too significant. So yeah. Let's see. What's up, Mattia? VeChain. So VeChain, it's like any other, altcoin. How low could it go without, being essentially a dead project? I think that's kind of what you're asking. Probably anything lower than 50 to 60% down from here. Probably anything below a cent is where you get into dead project territory. Theoretically, based on this weekly, anything below, for even a lot of altcoins, if you go down more than like 66%, if you go under a cent here, that's not good. You want to hold this general area, a cent and a half. XRP. Let's see, what's the issue with XRP here? I think in your bear market, right now you're probably like everything else. You're going to go down, bottom out 40 to 50% downward. somewhere in this range. If it goes, 15 cents, that's where you get into fear of going to zero. But all right, so yeah, I mean, not financial advice, but if you're long on XRP right now, you're better off just based on this environment. If you're going to be long on something, you should be long on Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin dominance just keeps going up, and these altcoins keep bleeding against it. So yeah, I mean, I would probably, if I were long on this, be taking some profits at a nice round number of 40 cents around here. But that's up to you. We just confirmed a blood diamond on the 16-hour not too long ago. That could easily play out and bring us down, right down to 28 cents. Yeah, wrong one. Let's see. Chainlink are also doing interesting move. Dow Jones. I don't think it's that bullish in the short term, but it's pretty neutral right now. Chainlink, yeah, let's look at Chainlink. Oh yeah, somebody wanted me to look at Tron. We'll definitely look at Tron. Tron's kind of acting like the new Chainlink. Did well in the bear market. And let's just look at the history on Chainlink here. How it did in 18. So June, it rallied kind of upward. I mean, it was very volatile. I mean, it just came all the way back down, but it did do well. I mean, it did. You would have got from top. Yeah, it's a 30x. So doesn't look like it'll repeat that pattern. It seemed like, honestly, it was kind of just a fluke, maybe because it's a new project, got a lot of news attention, stuff like that. I mean, probably the same reason Hex did well in our mini bear market last summer. It's probably just a fluke. Chainlink, how low could you go? Like everything else, probably down another 50% or something. Seems like this would be a big place, $4. That would make for a nice, 92% bear market correction. Keep in mind, ADAG went down 98% last bear market and came all the way back up. So, yeah. Having a nice pump here. Maybe some people think it'll be your bear market mover. Look, I like the 12-hour on this. I do. But just the way the market's operating right now, Bitcoin dominance continues to rise. I don't know if I would go along on this. Let's look at Tron. I think because I feel like it's always a different project that just has the fluke and does well. And I think it's a little bit more likely this is the one, although the weekly looks bad on this. That could just be a complete fluke. You come down a lot, 64% or something next few months, all the way to 3 cents. Or, I'm trying to think, like, what is the weekly like on this? Yeah, it's different. This is the only one that's different than everything else. I don't know. It does look overheated, though, on a lot of these time frames. So I think it would probably just follow everything else in the short term and come down, maybe. But, yeah. Yeah, okay. People do like Tron. CryptoFace likes Tron. I mean, I have a little bit of it. I got it in the airdrop, but yeah. Selling Climax. That could be in August, September. Let's hit the like button. See if we get a few more in here. Yeah, just a lot of, when you're sideways like this, you just play red dot, green dot, and nothing really happens a lot of times. I mean, how's hourly looks bad? How's the 90-minute? That's probably pretty close to, yeah. Looks like you'll just come right back down. Could be a relatively boring day. Yeah. Yeah, the 4-hour keeps going on and off with that green dot. And I wouldn't say it's the strongest green dot. Money flow's coming out. Yeah. It just come right back down. Alts right now, yeah, a lot of people keep asking about alts because, the average person, they bought alts probably close to all-time highs or when they were really high and they're down, 50%, 60%, 70, 80% with them and they're wondering should they sell. Um, it depends. It depends. If you're earning a lot of interest on them, why would you? It probably wouldn't be worth it, the fees and all that, to move everything around. Um, Given that Bitcoin will probably outperform them, it may not be the worst idea to convert them to Bitcoin. Not financial advice though. So yeah, um, I've been focusing, a lot on just Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum trades, altcoin trades. I mean, let me check what are the funding fees if we wanted to like try to short Cardano right now, and what are more people doing? I'm just curious what more people are doing with the Cardano USDT pair on BITGET. More people are going long at the moment, so the exchange will pay you to short. I kind of showed you that trade. I mean, unless Bitboys, or unless we get that rally real quick, that green dot in the weekly plays out, you'd probably be a good idea to short. Obviously, you're never going to be right 100% of the time in this game. That's why you need good risk management. If you're interested in learning more about that, check out my course down below. I go over all of that, all my trading techniques, all the things theoretically you need to know to be a profitable trader, trading psychology, risk management, how I interpret the charts, my strategies, how to use the exchanges. So I think it's going to help you guys out a lot. A lot of people have really liked it, so check that out if you're interested. There's a coupon code down below. Ethereum, little pump rate, a little short-term pump. Bouncing in this area, just playing around in this area. Red dot in the daily. 3-day, very choppy. Back in the green, but just very, very choppy right now. Let's see here. You guys, let me know if you have any other questions. It is interesting. Red dot in the 10-hour. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to see to really see a market bottom here. Something like this. It's a butt. Something like that. Something like this. Then you rally upward. So it's a patience game. The summers, and it's good that it's boring. Going to probably be boring for the most part over the summer. You can relax, you can travel. I'll be in Vegas at the end of the month, and probably in Central America or South America later in the summer. I know Lake Tahoe is good to go to. Haven't been to Yosemite National Park. A couple places I want to see. So yeah. June 8th, so the kids are going to be getting out of school pretty soon. I think college is already all done. BNB is, yeah, the strategies work for stocks too, but it's mainly designed for crypto the way it's taught. But yeah, you could definitely use it for stocks, for maybe even options trade, definitely a lot of the technical analysis concepts, but obviously it's mainly designed for Bitcoin, Ethereum. BNB. Let's look at BNB. Why is this one, I guess? Okay. That don't look too good on your 3-day. That do not look too good. It's probably just a fluke how we've stayed so high. Yeah, weekly, that don't look good either, man. Yeah, just don't look too hot. I think reality is going to hit this pretty soon. I think you could bottom out around here, probably. Down another 50% or something. Short term, yeah, there's a little bit of bullish hope, but yeah, it doesn't look too strong in my opinion. You're probably going to go low, than the market low over here. Probably going to go lower than that. This really shot up though, wow. From, yeah, I mean, this is just up so much. I mean, if you got in, like, say you got in November of 2020, I mean, you're still up 9x. At the tip, 23x. Wow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Do I believe in Cardano long term? I do. Yeah, I think there's a decent shot it'll make it. There's also a decent shot it'll end up like XRP and just have the fan base around it while it does nothing for 10 years. And you're still waiting in 10 years or next cycle. But, like any altcoin, aside from ETH, there's always a possibility it could go to zero. So you got to be careful. Cody. What aspects of MC do I use for my TA? Pretty much all of it. Cody. I've heard of this. Yeah, I think, like everything else, probably another 50% or something, probably around here, maybe even worse, maybe 5 cents, until we finally get a bottom in this bear market. It's going to be more of a, like, it looks like you're coming back right here. I mean, money flow crossover in the 16 hour, I'll give you guys that. I mean, that's good, but in my humble opinion, my professional opinion, I don't think we hit it yet. I think Bitcoin dominance needs to keep going up, and not to say we can't pump up to 16 cents or something in the short term, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. I mean, Bitcoin right now is just so sideways, man. Yeah, this is just so sideways. I mean, are we getting close to that 3? Yeah, we could get that 3 hour money flow crossover by tonight, so that might be nice, maybe even earlier. But yeah. All right, guys. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. I think I'm going to get off. We could look at some other articles and CNBC. What else is going on? Oh, yeah, somebody wanted me to look at the Dow Jones. Why not? I mean, did I draw? Yeah, it's pretty close. And it looks like, I mean, you might as well, I would say, wait, it hasn't been in the red in the weekly in a long time. You might as well wait. We've gotten this close. You might as well wait till we get in the red in the weekly. And, it's been a while since we've had a recession. I'm not saying it's going to be a real long, real bad recession. I'm not saying everything's going to happen. There's going to be a new world order and all that, but it could happen. If it's going to happen, there are some indicative signs, especially the leadership, the way people are acting for that to happen. These red X's typically are indicative of bottoms once they do confirm on the monthly. Unless you're entering a recession, then they're not. But, you could get, you could get a situation like, you could get a blood diamond on this monthly pretty soon. I mean, it could get kind of ugly here. These, the real places to buy, look right there. I mean, how much would you have gotten? I'm just curious, like, if, let's say you got in, like, right when that crossed over into the red, right around here, 300% over a 20-year period. Yeah. We're in crypto, guys. We ain't getting out of bed, like Ben Cowan would say. We ain't getting out of bed for 300%. I mean, once you factor in inflation on that, what is that really like? 200%? Not even. I think it would be pretty, even for real estate as well, pre-COVID numbers a little bit, kind of around here. And that would be a nice, it would still be a pretty healthy correction. It would be a mild recession at that point, and then maybe you continue forward in 2024, 2025. But, these gains from here just don't look like they're gonna be the same. This was just, if you got in, yeah, I mean, it's probably the same. What's the percentage if you got in? Yeah, 300%. So, yeah, yeah. Now it's back down. So she's just bouncing around. She's bouncing around here. Hourly. Getting close to getting into the red. Let's see here. I mean, this is the thing people are worrying about too. I mean, Ukraine. That could get bad. I mean, you got China and Taiwan. There are a lot of signs that there could be a new world order. I don't know if that's going to get me shadow banned or for saying that, but I'm just going off of YouTube. I'm just going off of what Ray Dalio has been saying. Thing too, I mean, what a lot of smart people I listen to is like, if you don't have to live in America, it may be a good idea to explore other options. Not that America is going to be unlivable, but just you got to do what's right for you. You should always explore. Let's see here. Raising a middle class child likely cost almost $286K. Those numbers are so rare, or so relative on these articles because 280, inflation, all these other things. I mean, yeah, they always say like, I remember my parents used to always, or at least my father used to always say things like that to me when I was young, and it would he'd do it in like a very condescending way to kind of make me feel bad, like how lucky you are. But most of the time you're the one choosing to have a child. Usually, a child didn't choose to really be born, so it's kind of. These things are always, and all of these, the more news you read, a lot of times, I mean, the news is more negative overall. That's the main thing. I mean, I went to school for broadcast journalism. That was what I majored in. What I really learned there was, the news is biased for clicks to make money, like everybody else. It's capitalistic. They want to make money, and what ascertains people making money, negativity, things like that, clickbait. Things that'll, I don't even know. I haven't done the research to know how misleading this is, but yeah. Economy, I don't even look at these ever. This is really, I mean, in terms of like, people looking at Fox News, CNN, those type of things, I mean, CNBC is probably the least clickbaity, which is probably the best option out of them, or Fox Business, but yeah. Let's see. AK, it's mainly like the main strategy that I talk about in my course a lot, and there's a really good scalping strategy I have. I could go over it right now, but I'm a little bit lazy. Okay, so we're dumping down a bit more at the moment. What's Bitcoin at? Let's see here. So coming back down. Yep. Scalping time frame is like 4 hour and below though, and you want to enter on divergences. So that's the main thing I will say. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get off. Thank you so much for joining me. We've been on a while now. On this lovely afternoon now. So yeah, guys, thanks so much. Check out my trading course down below if you're interested in that. I think it's a really great course. A lot of people have really liked it. So check that out. Link in the description below. There's a coupon code down below as well. My exclusive Discord is down below as well. I would show you the latest trades, but it'd be unfair to the people paying right now. We haven't had an outcome on them yet, so I do show a lot of the previews. What we had yesterday. We had some good trades yesterday. We had a Bitcoin long that did really well yesterday. I was finally stopped out in profit last night. So yeah, not right 100% of the time in there. Nobody is, but we've had some really, really good trades in there. And exclusive TA, and every strategy too. Long-term investing, that too, in the trades. So I think it's a lot of good content. Talk about stocks too occasionally, and commodities. So yeah. All right, guys. BITGET, FEMEX, check those out. If you want to create a new account, use my link down below. There's some good promos going on right now, so check those out. And Market Cipher, link in the description below with the coupon code. And if you want to do a one-on-one session with me, link in the description below through the Market Cipher Academy. A lot of people have really liked that as well too. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. Goodbye.